Welcome
to the J&O Show,
where we talk about
things that we were never told. I'm Jay.
And I'm O.
And now you know.
If you guys are new to our channel, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on those post notifications so you can know when we upload. All right, you never want to miss an episode. Today, we're actually going to be talking about part 2 of our topic from last week. Can independent women be in a relationship? Now, today, we want to kind of pivot and talk about, can independent women have kids?
Mm-hmm.
And what that all entails, or what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. First off, I would say yes, they can have kids.
Well, duh.
It's physically possible.
Yeah. Yes.
Woof. This is a loaded subject because there is no one answer. Yeah, there is no one answer. So because there is no one answer, it sort of makes it a little bit more of a difficult topic to just nail down because there's no cookie cutter situation here.
All right, fam. So
yeah.
Come close. All right. So this is for conversational purposes. We want to be able to kind of just put these topics or these ideas out there just so you can start to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that we were discussing in regards to this topic is, of course, obviously, yes, an independent woman can have children.
You can have it all, girl. You can have it all.
Okay. You can definitely have kids, but the question is, what does that look like?
Mm-hmm. And
what are some of the cause and effects?
Action, reaction, cause and effect.
For the different choices that are made. Because, okay, obviously, if you're an independent woman and you're taking care of yourself, then that means that you're working, right? 9 out of 10 times, it's probably outside of the home. So if you bring children into this situation, you have to start thinking about different things like, okay, who's going to be at home with my child or children? Is it going to be that you're going to stay at home, or your spouse is going to stay at home? Are you going to have a relative like mom, dad, auntie, somebody, or what have you, watching the kids while you're at work? Are you going to send them to daycare? Those are different things that you have to think about. Then you also have to think about, we're talking about the independent woman in marriage. So then you have to start thinking about finances, obviously, because you're bringing multiple mouths into the picture now. So the question is, with you being an independent woman, are you okay being at home and not being able to continue on your career path for a specified amount of time, maybe for the first 5 years or first 3 years or 2 years or whatever the case may be for your of your child or children? Is it that the guy stays home, or whoever makes the most money, they go to work? All those different things are things that should be discussed when you're thinking about bringing kids into your relationship. Well, for anybody, not just independent women, but in general, but especially for independent women, because if you're looking to maintain your career and different things of that nature, that's a conversation that you and your spouse need to have ahead of time, during the time, after the time, during the time and after the time, and all the time in between. That's something that you guys need to keep on discussing, because things are always going to change. Things are forever changing, and there might be new situations that arise. So you're going to have to keep that conversation going just to figure out what works best for you.
Right.
I think.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I would say that I know the last week's episode when we did like the definition of independent women, and it's just like being able to take care of yourself, to hold yourself up, not needing someone, and also your confidence and who you are, and not being shaken by somebody else. I will tell you this, your confidence can be shaken by your mate. Sometimes it needs to be. That is very dependent on your relationship. Is it abusive and just over the top, or is it mutually, where there's mutual growth? And I would tell you, like, anytime there's growth, there's gonna be some things that you got to go through that are not comfortable. So your mate is probably going to shake your confidence from time to time if it becomes arrogant, and your mate is definitely going to challenge you. That's going to happen. Please don't think that it's not. And if you're, if you have your own career path, or you're in purpose, which is definitely what I would say we would definitely prefer for you to be in, bringing children into it is going to be something that becomes difficult. Like, all of a sudden your time is like 1,000 times more valuable. You don't have time to do certain things, and you have to think about how that's going to affect not just you mentally, psychologically, physically, emotionally, and your partner, but even people around you, your friends, the people that you've built relationships with, people who are helping you on your career path and in your purpose. Like, there are a lot of people that are affected by you having kids, because all of a sudden you ain't around as much as you used to be. All of a sudden you can't do what you used to be. You can't just up and leave when you want to.
Right.
There are conversations that have to be had about how these times are going to work, and you can definitely run into times where both of you sort of need to be working at the same time. How do you handle that? Especially if you're both in purpose, because now you're adding passion to you wanting to do certain things. I would definitely say that it would be best for you to have a plan in place before children even come into the situation. The plan might not work. I'm gonna just tell you right now. It's more than possible that your plan is gonna fall to shambles.
That's okay, as long as you have something to kind of go off of.
Yeah, because you can make adjustments. If you have a plan, you can make some adjustments, because in order to have a plan, you have to have a goal.
Right.
So if you have a goal and you know what to work for, that's going to give you a nice starting point to be like, hey, we decided, because I make $20,000 more, that I was going to stay home, whether this is the male or the female, doesn't matter. And, now things done change. Now you making $10,000 more because of the way things have gone since we made this plan. Ooh, we pregnant now. So
what do we do?
What are we going to do? Is the money thing going to be the defining factor? You also have to consider the maternity of the mom, her maternal instincts. That plays, I think, the nurturing plays a role, especially when the kids are young. It's something that has to be there, because your mom is literally teaching you how to love. You know what I'm saying? They're teaching you about being physically affectionate. They're teaching you about trying to have patience with certain things, because, guys are not patients. I mean, there's some situations where I've seen where the husband definitely is the more patient of the two. But there are a lot of times that's because they work and they ain't home all day with the kids. So they have more patience. But there have been some times where I've seen that just personality-wise, they're the more patient in the group. I've seen that a few times. So all of those things have, and sometimes, believe it or not, even with all of the maternal instincts of the mother, I've also seen situations where the guy is the one who is definitely more kid friendly and can deal with, not just patience wise, just loves to be around the kids. Right. And I've seen the situation where the mom don't necessarily, she love them. She love them and all, but she don't want to be spending all day with him. She's like, look, we're gonna watch this here cartoon. I'm gonna play with you for a half hour, and y'all gotta play with your toys. I can't sit here with y'all. And the husband to be sitting up there playing with them for hours and hours and hours. All of those are things, and these are the things when I'm talking about your plan may fall apart. Right. You may get into it and have the plan there and then realize, oh my gosh, you're so much better with the kids. I think that you should be around more than me. You know what I'm saying? And all of those things are things that you, the camera's about to shut off. All right, look, I'm gonna try to make it quick. All of those things are things that you have to consider. So can an independent woman have children? Yes, both physically, and it can work in this situation, especially if you're financially independent. Right. But there are things that have to be considered, and that I would urge people to try to have a plan for before kids even come onto the scene, so that you know what you're going to be moving off of. So if finance is the idea of who's going to stay home, and also, oh gosh, if the camera cuts off, because you got to watch it, because even if you we both gonna work and mama gonna watch the kids, that's a whole nother thing. Because all of us mamas, we don't want our kids at the mercy of our mamas or our in-laws all the time. And if you have a babysitter, all of them videos that was coming out a couple of years about the babysitters abusing kids and stuff, it's just so much to consider. Don't take it lightly. I mean, that there is no cookie cutter answer. Everybody, the only cookie cutter answer we have for you for sure, talk about it.
Yes.
And be open and brutally honest.
Yes.
Do not sit there and acquiesce to your mate's needs just because, you know, they're the more dominant personality. No, you got to have your concerns heard.
You have to speak up.
Because kids, man, listen, everything that you don't do will come back to haunt you.
Yes, it will.
100%.
Yes, it will.
So just be very aware. And also kids pick up on everything. So, oof. You can do it, girl. You can do it. Independent women, yes, you can do it. But it's going to be hard.
Yeah, it's a lot to consider.
It's a lot to consider. And the more you have planned out, the easier that process becomes.
Right. Because you have to think about if you're not in the home and someone else is taking care of your kid for a good majority of the time, what they're learning from that person, and if it's the ideals that you want.
It's going to be a big part of their personality.
Exactly, especially those formative years, 1 through 5. So that's something that you really need to consider as well.
Yeah. So we just want to put some things out there to get, you know, start the conversations so that you guys can figure out what works for you in your home.
Right.
So that you can have peace, because this is one thing too, universal. What works for you may not work for anybody else.
Right.
And what works for somebody else may not work for you. You have to figure it out for yourself and be accountable to each other.
Right.
Not the rest of the world.
Right.
Okay. So I think that's where we're going to end it.
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to tune in next week, same time, same place. All right. Love you.
Peace. Press the out button.